What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Nacelle Toys Biker Mice from Mars, Vinney, Throttle, and Modo. Now, right off the bat, I am not the biggest Biker Mice from Mars fan out there. There are definitely some more bigger fans out there, and that's totally cool, but these guys looked way too cool not to pick up. I did watch a couple episodes growing up, like I am familiar with the characters, but only these three characters, so beyond that, not really my wheelhouse, but I do want to go back and rewatch it. I'm currently watching Street Sharks right now in preparation for those new Neccell Street Sharks because I'm super excited about that. Haven't watched that show in a while, so it's nice to go back and revisit that, but I wanted to, I'll probably do Biker Mice from Mars afterwards. But taking a look at the packaging here, I really like what they got going on. It's really nice packaging. I don't know if this is like vintage style, what it used to look like, but taking a look at Modo here, looks great with rocket gun and hot dog. You can see Modo there, the cyborg mouse. There's your read up for him if you want to take a look at it, your barcode. These are hitting like comic book stores, but I also saw them at FYE. So unfortunately I paid a little bit more for mine, but I picked up mine at a local comic book store. But then you can see was this one, Throttle? Yeah, Throttle's read up there, read up, and then you get to see the barcode, and then finally we get Vinney. Apparently he's just an idiot, so well, that's kind of what I remember. I really like the fact, I'm going to kind of be a nerd here for a second, but they're each like their own like species of mouse, so to speak. So like Vinney is what I would consider a Swiss mouse, which is like your typical lab mouse. Throttle strikes me as like a field mouse, and then Modo kind of gives more of rat vibes, to be honest, because of his size. But obviously he's a mouse, so I'd say he's kind of like your domestic house mouse. You know, they're all different kinds of species of mouse, which I think is pretty cool. But that's just me being a loser. So without further ado, let's go ahead, shut me up, and get these guys open. So, taking these guys out of the packaging, I have to say, I am pleasantly surprised with how much fun these figures are. They are super high quality. I know people are saying that a lot, like, wow, these feel really nice in hand, and I was like, I'm sure they do, whatever, but no, they do. Like, they do. They feel really high quality, especially for a toy company that's, like, relatively new. I think prior to this, they did Sectars, which wasn't interested in those figures at all. I've never really heard of that property. And RoboForce, which those figures looked great, but they're just not something that I'm interested in. This was the first that I was like, ooh, baby, I might have to pick those up, and I'm really happy that I did. So we'll start off one by one, but I just want to say right off the bat, these are really good figures. So we'll start off with the leader of the group because I don't really have a preference. I think I like Modo the best as a figure, but like in terms of character, I don't really have a preference. So taking a look at Throttle here. The paint on him is pretty damn clean. Love the earrings on there. You get his tattoo. That's pretty hard. Want to know how many people in the world have that tattoo, because there's got to be some, right? Studs on the jacket look good. You get his like vest. I threw on the fist hands because I think it looks great on them. You get like his gloved hand and then like the bare knuckle hand with, you know, like look at all that paint on that bracelet. You get the bands around the, like the straps around the waist, like the belt. And then you do get, you know, the knee pads and the boots. They look really nice. This gun does not come out. I think it's the same, or he's the only one with a gun on his side, but does not come out, unfortunately. Kind of wish he had the Biker Mice emblem on the back, but he's kind of got like a mullet going. It's pretty hard. But yeah, a big point of contingency with these guys as well was the fact that they have ball jointed hips, and I personally don't mind them. I think they're fine. Like, if you play with them, they're not terrible at all, and they don't bother me. I think the only thing that sticks out a little bit is that they have a finish difference. Like the rest of the figure is super matte finish, set matte to satin, looks great. So, like, this doesn't look like, if you took off the joints, it looks like a statue. That's how nice quality this is. And I really like that. It does not feel like a toy. It feels like a collectible. And I like that, but that kind of takes away from it a little bit for me, but not enough for me to be like, ah, poo. But I think he looks awesome. And I really like their designs. Like, it just, everything works for me here. So, taking a look at accessories, we are going to have a couple here. We do have a couple pairs of interchangeable hands. Pretty much the whole assortment you're going to need. You get an open, like, relaxed hand. You get the fist hands that are on there. And then you get the gripping hands. And since the wrists are ball hinged, you can put them vertically or horizontally, which we'll talk about more. Every one of them is going to come with a hot doge, because instead of pizza, we do hot dogs around here, and that's totally fine. Every one of them is going to come with their laser blaster, so I won't show that in depth for each one of them, but the paint on this looks really nice. There's like 4 colors on there. That's pretty nice for a little accessory. You get 2 interchangeable heads. You get a smiley head for Throttle. By the way, his eyes are painted, and these glasses come off on each head sculpt, which is pretty awesome. I really like that. It's a nice detail. They didn't necessarily have to throw in there, but they did. I likes that. And then you each get each of their helmeted heads, which I like that as well. You get his sunglasses in there. This visor, does it come off? It does come off. Yeah, so there you go. If you want to take that off, you can. For me, I will not be using these because, and don't hate me for this, not getting their bikes. Yeah, they're just too expensive. Maybe if they go on clearance one day, I would get them, but I don't want to spend more than $100 for all of them. So yeah, not going to be getting the bikes. But the last accessory he comes with is this disc thrower thing. You get this, the gun itself, and then you get 3 discs, like tin things. I don't really know what they are. I really like the paint on them. I like the dry brush. It looks very nice, and it is functional. So I guess this was a throwback to the old toy. I think you squeeze it here. Maybe not. Oh, it is. Let me try that again. Now they like broke it in a little bit. So it slides in there, and then aim. Oh, it's got some force on it. I like that. So you get 3 of them. Super cool. He can hold it in the gripping hand if you want him to. Personally, I'm not going to have him hold this, but it's a cool throwback to the original figure. Now, I'm going to go over articulation on each one of them because each one of them has their own sculpt, which is really nice. One minor complaint that I have are these interchangeable, where the heads pop off really easy and don't have a lot of range. They don't look up very far, and they don't look down very far. They're really just going to rotate and pivot. Honestly, for a character like this, I wish he did look up a little bit more, but this isn't terrible. It's not bad. It's just, it could be better. Shoulders go up past horizontal. They'll go down. They'll rotate 360. Biceps swivel. You do get good-looking double-jointed elbows that are pinless. And then, like I said earlier, the wrists are on the ball pegs, or ball hinge, so they'll work very good. Now, as you probably know, these were originally not supposed to have an ab crunch in there, but they did add it, and I will say that's a pretty good diaphragm joint. I like that. I don't know what's going on under there with like the paint, but pretty damn good. I like that. You get a waist twist with it as well. Hips go out that far. They go down. He can kick forward, only a little less than horizontal. The tail's on a ball joint. This pops out a little bit much too. I do wish this was a bendy wire, but honestly, if you heat it up, straighten it, or mold it in a certain way that you want it, and then like cool it down, it's soft enough to where it won't break and it'll probably stay in that. I mean, do that at your own risk, but you do get a thigh twist, double jointed knees that look kind of ugly, I will say. Not the biggest fan of the design of that. Boot rotation, and then the ankle goes down all the way, up pretty far, and a good ankle rocker. So, not bad for a dude, for a big biker mouse. Pretty happy with that. He looks great. I love posing him around. Like, he's just like fun to mess around with. So, super cool looking figure. Let's move to Vinney here. Vinney, if you're watching this. But anyway, I do like his little freaked out head sculpt. Looks like a weird ass dude. I like his jacked upper torso. Looks good. Do got a paint scuff on there, but painting white is hard, so I'll give them some leeway there. But yeah, it's not looking great there. He does have his earrings as well. He has his antennae. The back looks good. I like that this is asymmetrical. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be like that. I think that's pretty cool because it like reflects the front. I like that. He's got his own legs too. Like I said, he's on a smaller body. You do get these studs that are painted all the way down his pants, and then this belt, I believe, twists because it's not supposed to be asymmetrical, right? No, right, we're good, right? Yeah, we're good. So that just be cautious of that the belt's going to rotate. You do get his like little ascot, and then he doesn't have any design on his boots. No like anything on there. So yeah, I think he looks great as well. He does have a couple more paint scuffs, but again, I think that's attested or contributed by the fact that he's white paint, because I know that's pretty difficult. But I love the proportions and the sculpt of these guys. For his accessories, he's going to come with the same array of hands. He's going to come with a pair of like relaxed open hands, and he's going to come with a pair of grip hands, which is nice. You do get 2 interchangeable heads. You get a smiling head as well, which I think for him I'm going to use, but oh man, oh poo, but whatever. And then you do get the helmeted head, which this visor does come off as well. And then you get his gun. Like I said, I'm not going to go over it too much. And then you get his, well, then you get the hot dog as well, which again, not going to go over it too much. And then you get this clamp guy. Clamp champ would be jealous. So it's just like you hold it like this and pull it back, and you can grab stuff. So let's see if I can grab his leg. That's pretty cool. I like that. He doesn't really hold this too well, because it's kind of like a gun like this. So I don't know. Again, the paint's really nice on it. Looks good. This is a callback to the original figure. Not something I will use. Almost forgot to mention, just wanted to throw it in here real quick before we continue, that Vinney comes with this crowbar gun thing. Doesn't do anything, but it's got nice paint and looks good. He just holds it. But yeah, just wanted to put this in there as well. The head will look up a little bit more than Throttle's. It'll go down, it'll pivot side to side, and pivot and rotate. Shoulders go upwards that far. They'll go down. They rotate 360. Biceps swivel, double jointed elbows, and then the wrists swivel and hinge. All that good stuff. His diaphragm joint, I think, is even a little bit better than Throttle's. Like, that's pretty good. Arcs back a little bit. Upper diaphragm joint. Waist twist. And then he doesn't have anything restricting him, like in the belt, so he'll go down, or he goes out. He'll kick forward. I don't know. I think the hips could be a little bit better. Thigh swivel, double jointed knees, boot rotation, which is a little stuck, and then the ankles go down that far, up all the way, and they rotate, and then he has the ball joint at the tail. So, yeah, really happy with how Vinney turned out as well. Again, they're just, like, fun to fidget with, dude. I love the proportions of them. Like, I love the proportions of like skinny legs with clunky big Frankenstein like boots, and they all have that, and it just like, oh man, he looks way cooler than he should. And then finally you got the big guy of the bunch, Modo, and he looks awesome, dude. He looks really good. He's big. Like, I mean, you saw at the beginning of the video, but like, man, little fucker. He's like hella big, which is awesome, because I think some people were thinking that these are all going to be the same size, like, because they're on the same body, but they're not. You get to see his head sculpt there. He looks angy. I like that they only all have earrings on the left side. That's pretty funny. He's got a little chip taken out, which also makes you think he's a rat. I don't know. I think he's a rat, but looks pretty good. I like the paint in the arm shoulder thing. Shoulder pads look good. You get to see all of the details on the back. Looks nice. I do have a black scuff like right on the chest thing, which annoys me a little bit, but it's not terrible. I like the belt. Painted all along here. Looks great. I love that. And then he's got the most paint on his boots. He's got those purple bands on there. He painted the stuff for his knee bands. He just looks great. It's like what it needs to be. And of course, his signature thing is he's got a robotic arm. So I like that. I like the red knuckles on there. Looks awesome. Looks fantastic. So he's definitely my favorite, which I was not expecting. I thought I was going to like Throttle the most. But I don't know. There's something about like him being a bigger figure. And he's just fun to pose around, man. These are all fun to pose around. So, taking a look at his accessories, pull down over here, where you got all the same assortment of hands. You do get a relaxed pair. All the good paint is on there. You do get a pair of gripping hands. You do get his hot dog and his gun. Again, they're all the same from figure to figure. And then you get his interchangeable head, which is like a smirking head. And ooh, I like that. I like that expression a lot. That looks really good. So I'll probably wind up using that one. You get his helmeted head, which is like so much bigger than Vinny's. Like, look at that. That's hilarious. But the visor, I believe, does come off still. Yeah, it does. I'm not going to play with it too much, but it will come off. Just be careful. Looks pretty good. And then he just gets a gun. Doesn't really do anything. Like, it doesn't have an action feature like the rest of them, at least not one that I can figure out, but that's fine. It's really light. It kind of feels kind of cheap, but it looks nice. So that's what matters. You got that nice bronze paint on there. So overall, good assortment of accessories. Now, of course, the last thing is to check the articulation. So the head looks up, I think, the best on him. I like that. That's pretty good. They'll go down, pivot side to side, and rotate. Shoulders go up the same amount on each side. They'll go down. They'll rotate on both sides. This side, you get a bicep swivel. Well, both sides, you get a bicep swivel. This side, you get double jointed elbow, and then the wrist that hinges and swivels. This side, you only get a single hinge, and I'm totally okay with that. It does hyperextend the other way, so maybe if you want to get crazy with pictures and have somebody like breaking it on their knee, I don't know how crazy you want to get with biker mice from Mars, but, and then the wrist swivel and hinge, ball hinge, nice. But I like that. I like that they went the single hinge route. The torso goes backwards that far. He'll go forward. His torso is a little loose for my liking, but not terrible. Waist twist. Hips go outwards that far. They'll go down. He'll kick forward that far. Back, upper thigh cut. Double jointed knees. The boot will swivel. And then the ankle goes down and up and pivot. So, yeah, not bad at all. Really think, oh, and the ball joint at the tail. Which, again, if you wanted to heat it up and repose it, you could. But, yeah, I just really, really like these figures and how they pose and how they feel. They just look awesome. Very, very cool looking figures. For size comparisons, here they are. I don't really know what scale these guys are. I guess 7-inch scale is probably a closer estimate. But here they are next to the NECA Toys King Kong, along with the Jazzwares Fortnite Series 6-inch Peely. Here they are next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Men Series Darwin and the McFarlane Toys Dark Knight Returns Batman. And then here they are next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends What If Series Zombie Captain America. So, some of you are out there probably wondering, yo, Ant, what are your final thoughts on these figures? And I gotta say, guys, if it's not obvious, I'm really, really enjoying them. I think they're so much fun. And honestly, have no right being as fun as they are, but damn, I can't stop playing with them. Like, it's been a while since I found a figure, or in this case, a set of figures that I just can't stop fidgeting with, and I really can't put these guys down. I love the articulation scheme, to be honest. I think they're very high quality. They look great, come with a bunch of fun stuff, and they just make for cool, fun action figures. The only problem for me is I just wish I was a bigger fan of the franchise. Other than that, these guys are pretty much perfect. Little tweaks here and there would make them perfect, but that's just me. So with that being said, I believe that's all I got for today. So at a price point of $35 to $40, which for this small of a company, still early in production with like things that they're making, that's a great price by today's action figure standards. Like Marvel Legends are that much, and you don't get nearly as much as you're getting with this. Just saying. So with all that into consideration, I'm going to give these guys, I'm going to give this set as a whole a 9 out of 10. It is great. And if Nacelle keeps this up, they're going to have great figures on their hands. So with that being said, I believe that's all I got for today. If you have not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd. I post a lot on all of those apps, and I have a great time, so I'm sure you will too. But as always, let me know. You copping the biker mice? And are you going to get the bikes? Let me know. See you guys in the next one. Peace. What goes on, guys? I wanted to hop on here again and thank you all for watching, and to let you know that if the following apps interest you, feel free to follow me on them, as I put the links in the description for you guys. I really appreciate everything you all do for me, so DM me with any questions or thoughts. I'd love to sit and talk with you all. Again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.